Boxing here, set to give you guys a showdown between a fight that boxing fans have been waiting for. Gennady Triple G Golovkin versus David Lemieux. Fight's happening at the Madison Square Garden in New York City, Saturday, October 17th. We're only one day away. I'm joined here with my good friend Juan Diego Diaz. Juan Diego, welcome to Pride of Boxing. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. So we have Gennady Golovkin, solid Kazakhstan fighter. They're fighting obviously for middleweight king. Got Gennady Golovkin at 33 wins, 30 knockouts, 0 losses. What do we have David Lemieux at?
34 wins, 31 by KO, 2 losses.
Okay, solid, definitely a solid matchup. So what do you have going here, man? Who do you think might win? What do you think might be your prediction?
I feel like it's a very underestimated fight, especially for the casual boxing fan. I think that David Lemieux is not known very well in the boxing world unless you're a hardcore fan like ourselves. But he is a hard hitter.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've seen a couple fights from David Lemieux. He's not known. He's known in the boxing world to have heavy hands, heavy punches, and he has 2 losses in his record. One of those coming by Marco Rubio, which Gennady Golovkin destroyed him in a couple rounds. But it should. I mean, I'm seeing a solid matchup. You got Gennady Golovkin, solid fighter. I mean, this guy punches you and he can drop you practically with any punch.
Even a jab.
Pretty much, man. I mean, if you've seen the last fight with Willie Monroe, and it doesn't look like the guy can hit hard, but once you see those hits, he just drops those guys and floors them to the mat, to the canvas. I definitely see. I mean, what's your prediction as far as a possible outcome on the fight?
Well, I think there's 2 possible outcomes. I think it'll be a banger, it'll be a war, and it'll go all 12 rounds, and it will go to Gennady Golovkin by either majority decision or split decision. And on the other hand, I feel that David Lemieux is a very tough fighter, and I think he'll be able to withstand Triple G's assault. But I feel like maybe his trainer or the referee might not want to see anymore. So I also say that Triple G by TKO in the later rounds, of course.
Yeah, I mean, the way you said it, casual fans really don't know who Gennady Golovkin is. They don't know who David Lemieux is. This is literally a fight for the boxing fans. These guys haven't fought really notable opponents. I think this is going to be one of those fights that pretty much going to be introduced to the rest of the world, because they're going to come out and give it their all. It's a solid middleweight fight, but they haven't fought anybody notable yet. So this is pretty much a coming out party for both of these fighters to show they're true contenders in the middleweight division. I mean, Gennady Golovkin, he's right now the king of middleweight, so this is going to be his test. This is going to be definitely a test for him. I definitely see the fight going back and forth. Possible knockdowns between both fighters. But I definitely see Gennady Golovkin, like he does in other fights, he'll break down his opponent at the beginning. Probably let himself get punched like he's done for the last couple matches. And give the fans a show. The way he says it is, this is a war. I want to show... toe-to-toe action. So I think, my personal opinion, I have Gennady Golovkin stopping David Lemieux in the later rounds. I mean, if I could predict, probably the 8th round, but anywhere from the 8th on, I think it might be a stoppage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only downside to the fight is the fact that it's on HBO pay-per-view. I feel like it hasn't been promoted enough. Rightfully so. It's $49.95 standard definition, $59.95 high definition. So I don't think very many people are willing to pay just because they've heard that these 2 fighters are gonna give us a show, because they're both very hard hitters.
Well, yeah, that is something that kind of caught me off guard, is the fact that pay-per-view showing. I think it should have been an HBO showdown. Like I said, these guys are both coming out as middleweight contenders. Yes, I guess it's fair to say that it could be pay-per-view, but at the same time, you want to give these guys exposure to the rest of the world. You know, definitely pay-per-view was a route that I know they wanted to go just to, you know, get more money out of the fight. But, you know, I mean, if you're a boxing fan, you're going to order it. But if you're the casual fan and you don't know who these guys are, you know, you're not going to order the fight. But it should be one hell of a fight. It should be a treat for boxing fans, most definitely.
Of course, let's also talk about the undercard. That's that also, for the hardcore boxing fan, I think it makes it worth it.
I mean, you got Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez versus Brian Viloria. This guy's you know, no joke. And as you call him, Juan Diego, it's little chocolate.
Little chocolate.
Little chocolate. So this guy's a tough fighter. I mean, he comes from Nicaragua. You know, rough background. This guy is no joke. This guy's a tough fighter, and he's getting major exposure here in the States. I mean, this guy can be the you know, the next big thing in boxing. So, you know, it's gonna be a solid fight come Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this guy is pretty exciting. Very small guy, a lot explosive power for his weight, and I think that's what's exciting about him. Brian Viloria is also a very tough Hawaiian fighter who's up and coming, and it should be a great fight. I'm gonna go ahead and say Chocolatito will probably take it by KO in the later rounds.
You know what? I agree with you, Juan Diego. I think it's gonna be a solid fight. I have Chocolatito winning, and you know, for the casual fan, you guys got to keep an eye out for this guy. This guy is no joke. The only thing about his weight class is there's really no exposure in the smaller weight classes nowadays, and I feel that definitely it's gonna be a tremendous undercard and a tremendous fight come Saturday. And we also got, just to throw in there, Cotto versus Canelo, November 21st.
Yeah.
Huge fight. I know we're all excited for that one, and this is even for the casual fan. They know that these two are going head toe to toe. But possible opponents for David Lemieux and Gennady Golovkin come Saturday between the winners. I would think that would be a hell of a fight too between these two guys. Between any of those guys, you know, between Cotto, Canelo, and David Lemieux and Gennady Golovkin. Huge contenders at middleweight. And middleweight's coming back, man. Used to be welter, but I think we got a solid, you know, middleweight division now.
Absolutely, it's exciting. The super middleweight weight class is really coming up, and also welterweight. I think that's where the excitement is at, and I'm looking forward to very great fights. Like you said, especially with the mix of those guys, even the loser can fight the loser. You know what I mean? Let's say David Lemieux beats Triple G, Canelo beats Cotto. You know, they can make a nice matchup. Triple G can make a nice matchup with Cotto, etc., etc.
I like your prediction.
Back and forth.
I like your prediction.
Even that can be
Canelo
nice.
Cotto.
Even that can be nice, and they can fight each other on undercards.
Absolutely. I mean, these fights can go either way, but it's going to be a great outcome come Saturday. I think it's going to be a great treat for the boxing fans. Juan Diego, thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me.
Guys, this was Pride of Boxing. Go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment on the video. Give us your guys' opinion. You can go ahead and subscribe on YouTube at Pride of Boxing. Facebook, go ahead and check out Pride of Boxing, Orgullo de Boxeo. And on Instagram at Pride of Boxing 1. Guys, this was Pride of Boxing. Juan, again, thank you.
You're welcome.